crunch, bring it back, single leg swing. Let me teach you how to wrestle. Okay, let me teach you how to wrestle.
Mindset Monday is brought to you by our official sponsors, Eat Clean, bro. Make sure you order today, get them delivered right to your house, check them out, and make sure you put in your discount code MINDSET. Dean, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. My son was excited to meet you. My 4-year-old son, Joseph, we said the champ is here.
That's
good
funny.
to see you. Good to have you on. So, yeah, I'm sure things have been pretty busy since the NCAAs. What's been up?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of media and appearances at all the athletic events, and taking a lot of pictures, smiling a lot. But yeah, it's been fun.
Awesome. So I guess the obvious place to start is take us through the tournament. Take us through match by match, how you were feeling, what your thoughts were, your mindset, of course, everything we talk about, mindset, emotions. What was that all like? 3-day tournament. That's not easy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the toughest tournament, that you'll ever go through. The schedule, the weight cuts after, and the starting or finishing at night, late at night, and then having to go back right into another tough match in the morning is it's grueling. You're definitely sore after every day, but this tournament I was more calm and more relaxed than I've ever been. And, I think that's a testament to how I've really focused on locking in on my mindset and, just taking appreciation of every opportunity that I've had, come in here and really getting to enjoy my last year and my last NCAA tournament, because there's nothing like it. There's nothing like going out there and wrestling in front of all those wrestling fans, trying to put on a show for them.
Yeah, and put on a show, indeed, a good way of putting it, because, a lot of guys wrestle like stiff and they're not aggressive. And one thing, my brothers, like as we're watching the match, you're going through all of it. It's like, hey, this guy's aggressive. He's getting after that.
Yeah.
And when you see that, even just as a wrestling fan, that's awesome. Like, it's of course matches are going to be tough and it's going to be very hard to score. These are the very best wrestlers in the country. So
yeah.
We certainly understand low scoring matches, but people are holding back still a lot of times. What are the things you're telling yourself to put on that show?
Yeah, I think learning how to just focus on the next point is the biggest thing for me. In previous years, I get taken down. It kind of rattles me a little bit in the head. I'm worried. I'm worried about losing, and I have all these thoughts in my head. But just focusing on scoring the next point. It keeps your offense on, keeps your defense on, and then you're able to wrestle free. You're not gonna sit there and kind of just wait for a guy to come to you and get scored on because you made a mistake. And just being able to really focus on, even if you get taken down, to get that next point, get that escape, and get the next takedown.
Yeah. So you said that wasn't something you always did a good job at. What changed? How did you change that?
I think just talking to all my coaches this year and really focusing in on that at practice. Practice is your first look into how you're going to compete, and you got to practice how you're going to compete. So if something didn't go my way in practice, it's no big deal, and really trying to push forward to score the next point. And I think that's something that these coaches really implemented into me and all my teammates.
Awesome. Yeah, talk about the year being a transition year of coaches, totally different staff, right?
Yeah, it was kind of refreshing. You get a new thing that's exciting, and you get to learn from Coach Dave, and he's one of the best wrestlers I think ever, and to be able to learn from him and get some of his wisdom along with Coach Jimmy, Coach Tyler, and Coach Gilman, it was a great year for me.
How tall is David?
We're around the same height, so probably around the 6'1".
Because we were looking, when I was looking at you from the corner, I'm like, this guy's taller than David Taylor.
Yeah, I think we're around the same height.
You guys get to wrestle a lot?
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a challenge. He's really good, but it's hard to wrestle him, but it's super fun.
I was going to say that had to be a change of pace. Did you ever wrestle with him before he came to Oklahoma State?
No. At first I was a little nervous, like, oh, he's going to get me bad, but it's fun to wrestle him.
Awesome. And then let's go through the season. What were your thoughts as the season started? I mean, you obviously have always, one of the toughest weights in the country.
Yeah. So the beginning of the season, I was excited. I think all of us were super excited. We had a great team, and we worked hard together in the practice room every day. So we were excited to put put our talents on the line and show the country what we were about. And this season was great. It was probably the most fun I've ever had in a wrestling season to date. And through each week I was enjoying it, and I was really having fun, and just taking in my last year. And I think that's part of the reason why I did so good at the end of the year, is that I was really just grateful for everything that I was doing, and made me wrestle more calm and more free. And it was just an overall fun season.
Did you have a feeling that it was going to be a showdown between you and Keegan at the end of the year? I mean, obviously there's a lot of good guys, and clearly anything could happen. We saw it over and over again. But what are your thoughts with that? I mean, you're going up against history there, a guy going for a third national title. The guys who go going for a third title rarely lose.
Yeah. Keegan's a really tough competitor, and I was hoping that we'd be able to wrestle a couple times, and we did. He got me the first time, but I made those adjustments and really keyed in on what I had to do to beat him the second time. And I was also excited to wrestle Levi. Levi was a great competitor also, and he was national champ last year. And it was a great weight, and it was really great to be able to push myself to be able to beat those guys.
So now, how many times did you wrestle Keegan before the NCAAs, and how many times Levi?
I've never wrestled Levi, so that was the first time, because he was always at 57. And then I wrestled Keegan my sophomore year at the All-Star Classic, and then Big 12s and Nationals.
Man, yeah, and having to wrestle those, good guys. Well, I guess wrestling Keegan several times. Do you feel like you build confidence as the matches go on? Or...
Yeah, the first match he kind of beat me up a little bit, so I didn't really think about that one too much. But the Big 12s for sure, that was a fun one, and I think wrestling him at the Big 12s really showed me what I had to do in those 2 weeks leading up to nationals to win it.
How does each coach contribute their own unique thing to Oklahoma State wrestling?
Yeah, so they all are good at, I'd say, everything, but they all bring a different element to practice. Gilman's more serious and really likes to key in on mindset and talking to us, and Coach Jimmy's more relaxed, but he's super good with technique, and he's going to show us what we need to do. And Coach Dave wraps it all in with, I think the best technique in the country. And just overall, all of them are great at, calming us down and telling us what we need to do in a serious manner, but a fun manner too. And I think that's what makes us different from other schools. We have a lot of fun with what we do.
The time is now to take your mindset to the next level with Wrestling Mindset. Make sure you go to our website, wrestlingmindset.com, and sign up for your free trial session today. Don't wait any longer. You want the mental edge right now. When you sign up for the free trial session, you're also going to get a copy of our free ebook, Building the Predator Mindset. This book has helped thousands of people build confidence, relax under pressure, get motivated, and build mental toughness in wrestling, school, and life. Make sure you sign up for your free trial session today.
And we love to do it.
That's what I was going to say. What sets Oklahoma State apart? I mean, again, not getting as much air coverage as you should, not being part of the Big Ten, right? But obviously, Oklahoma State, there's, everyone knows how great the tradition is, the team is,
Yeah. So, I think that what makes us different is like I said before, we love it. All our guys we're all super close here, and we feel like a family. And, I think that makes us better in the duels and in the tournament, because we're all going to push each other to the potential that we think that we can be. And, we really enjoy the life that we get, and we're grateful for it.
Do you see a lot of alumni around throughout the season coming back to the matches or in the room?
Yeah, definitely at the home duels. I've seen a bunch of them, and, it's always super cool to see him. We saw DC at Nationals. That was cool. He was cheering for us, and he's on the commentary, and it's always fun to see guys, and they're always cheering you on, and it's cool.
And he makes it clear he's a fan.
Yeah, he did. I watched back the thing, and he was like, "Cowboys have a national champ." It's funny.
That's awesome. Now, talk about your reaction with everything with Wyatt. I mean, obviously that was a big buzz. I mean, clear anyone could be beaten on any given day, and Wyatt's a great wrestler, so it's not like any of these matches are gimmies. But obviously people weren't expecting that. What was your thoughts of that? And then even before everything, what was the pulse of that like in the room? Was he always really believing he was going to win that national title?
Yeah, Wyatt always believed that he was going to win, from the day he got here. And when Gable said that he was going to come back, he always believed that he can win. We believed that he could do it. And after my match, they wrestled 84 first. So I only had a little bit of time, like in between the podium, to go back and like get all my stuff together. So I was watching Wyatt on the TV in the back. And in the third period, we all ran out. And then when he got that takedown, we were jumping up and down, and everyone was going nuts in the tunnel. And it was just super fun to see. And it was great to be a part of, one of the biggest upsets of all
Being
time.
in the Oh yeah, big time. And I mean, being in the stands there, it was like no one knew what to do after. No one wanted to
Yeah.
go. I've never seen that before. Normally, after the tournament, everyone just floods up and the hallways are packed. No one knew. No
Yeah.
one wanted to leave.
We looked up and they're all just standing around. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, it is a big moment. I mean, I would stand there too. It was a big moment.
Oh man. So what are the plans you have coming up for wrestling? What are you competing next?
Yeah, I think I'm going to the US Open, training for that right now, and, want to accomplish my international goals as well. And I'll be training the RTC with, Zahid and Roman and Dayton. And, that's just another element that makes this place great. We have a lot of good guys that are coming here to train internationally, and, something special to be a part of.
Yeah. And now what weight will you be?
79. It's the same as 74. It's like 73.8 or something.
All right. All right. And then, so what? Yeah. Well, I guess what are your international goals? How long do you plan on competing?
I'm young for senior. I'm only 21, so I'll hopefully be able to compete for a long time. And yeah, my goals are to be world Olympic champ for sure. I want to get to that point and, strive and do everything I can to get there.
So, and your eligibility is done?
Yeah. I did 4 straight. I didn't redshirt or anything.
You got to be one of the youngest seniors in the country.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, out of all the guys in the nationals, there's probably not many people who are graduating that were younger than you, if any.
Yeah. They're just. I mean, Troy is a sophomore and he's older than me by a little bit.
So talk about that mindset, because that's another thing that's always going on in people's heads. Like I gotta make sure I'm older for my grade, and I'm sure strategically it makes sense for some people, maybe a nerdy thing, but I guess talk about that.
Yeah, I think that it made me. I was always confident, and I didn't feel like I had to do a red shirt or anything. And I think my first year really cemented that. Like, wow, I can compete for this national title. I can get better, and I don't have to take a red shirt or anything like that. But it definitely crossed my mind a couple times, like, oh, what would happen if I did red shirt? Like, but I'm glad I didn't. I have no regrets. I think that doing that made me better because I knew I had a couple years left. I didn't have 3. I didn't have a year where I took off and just tried to get better. So it really made me do everything I possibly could to reach the goal, and it happened at the end.
Yes, a great ending indeed. Now, which in a certain sense also now just the beginning, right, of the international career. So what weight would you look to go for the Olympics? I know we're still a ways away.
I don't know really. Maybe 74, but I have a feeling I might get a little bigger once I go through a couple of years without the college season, because it's not going to be a Friday, Sunday weigh-in every single weekend. So I might get a little bigger, but then it might. 86 is really big though. So I'm kind of like in the middle ground. Like I could get really big or I have to get smaller.
But I'm thinking you're going to probably do you feel like your body type is more like DT?
Yeah, I'd say it's more similar to DT. Yeah, so I could get big. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be awesome. Well, we got Final X right here in New Jersey. I'm in New Jersey, so that'd be only 25 minutes from me. So
awesome.
Get out there to Final X, and then we'll see you over there.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Awesome. So what's the training plan like right now? Have you? I mean, I guess you've been on the mats now, obviously, since the Nationals been some time.
Yeah, I got back on the mats. What is that? I got back on the mats Thursday after Nationals. So I took 3 days off, kind of just reflect, got everything done I had to do with like media and appearances at the athletics and stuff, and then I got right back in and started working on freestyle. I haven't done freestyle in a little while, so getting back into it the first couple of days was like, well, this is a little rough, but wrestling's wrestling, and being able to be comfortable in positions is something that I think I'm good at, and yeah, you train.
And probably a breath of fresh air, something different, right? Something that's
it is refreshing. It is refreshing hitting leg laces instead of putting my legs in trying to do a tilt. So it's kind of fun.
Do you think that makes the mindset any different when you step on the mat, or it's basically the same still? I guess.
I think it's maybe a little different. You have to freestyle's a little different, like off the takedown, looking for turns. But I think wrestling is wrestling, and if you have a clear mindset, you can do great at anything.
Absolutely. Who are the big recruits coming in next year?
We had Casey Swiderski just commit, and then Facundo and Gary Steen as of now. But those are transfers that just committed here, and then one of my good friends, D. Lockett, is coming in next year too, and is excited. It's exciting to get all those guys in and show them around and kind of take them under the wing and show them how things are done here at Oklahoma State.
Absolutely. And after obviously the performance of you and Wyatt, and all the guys, and the great coaching staff being there, I think we're going to see more and more people going to Oklahoma State. Jax Forrest are already committed,
Mm-hmm.
and his buddy Bo Basso went to Iowa, but hey, he's over at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people coming over to be Cowboys that want because you guys are doing there.
Yeah, I think the first year is always going to be special. It's something that Coach Dave did awesome this season. We had won the Big 12, took third, and 6 All-Americans, 2 champs. That's a great first season for a coach, and I think that's a testament to how he runs things around here, and people are going to want to be a part of it.
Absolutely. I was going to let you go, but I realized we didn't dive into your past at all. So talk about that a little bit. When did you start wrestling? What clubs did you go to? And anything else that you feel like helped you prepare while you were growing up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started wrestling to get better at football when I was 7, and then I think that just the individuality of it, I like that I was in control. I like that I didn't have to pass a ball to someone and maybe they drop it, maybe they catch it. So, I like that I could control every point that I scored. And, after a year of wrestling, I was like, I'm going to ditch football. I never went back. But I wrestled in Illinois and clubs since I was 7. I wrestled at Martinez, Martinez Fox Valley. It was Izzy's brother and his dad. And, from a young age, they developed my style and really taught me values in wrestling that have carried over for my whole life. Try to score points, be aggressive, and I think that from a young age, I knew that I could accomplish some big goals just with the help of all the coaches that I've had.
That's awesome. Well, keep up the great work, Dean. Thanks for joining us on the show today, and like I said, we'd love to have you back sometime soon.
Yeah,
I hope to see you right over here, Final X.
Yeah,
crushing it.
I hope to be there.
All right, awesome. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.